All right, guys, we're back recapping divisional weekend. Last two games happened today. The Buffalo Bills were defeated 36-42 in overtime by the Kansas City
Heartbreaking
Chiefs.
fashion. Heartbreaker.
Just take me through your thoughts through the end of the game. It was an amazing, amazing, amazing game by the
So,
what I think is the two best quarterbacks in the league.
I mean, I love Joe Burrow, right? But when I watch Joe Burrow and then I watch these two quarterbacks, it's like another level on top of another level, right? I
The
mean,
gap is it goes Derek
it's
Carr and
like
then Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert and then Josh Allen and Patrick
it's
Mahomes.
it's like, man, you're already doing amazing. Like you're always doing this play and then this play, and then it's just like it's all the way up here. I mean, that goes for Tom Brady too. In that
I think, but
game.
I don't even think Brady or Rodgers could have made some of the throws they were making today.
No, obviously not. But I
I,
think
th-
you
I
still
think
have
I
to put
think
them in
they're
that
the two
class.
best. I think
I
they're the
think you
two
still
best.
have to put Brady and possibly Rodgers in that class based on history. If
I
you know
think
what I
they're
mean.
in that class, but if I were to rank it, I'd probably go with those two at the top.
I think we need to make an ultra elite category now.
Ultra elite. There's
Ultra
that
elites, and then
there's
there's
that
elite.
elite, and then there's the best,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And man, how good does it feel to be a Bills fan just to know that you have Josh Allen as your quarterback? Whatever happens in this offseason, whatever happens the next 5 years, you still have Josh Allen as
He'll
your
keep you
quarterback.
relevant.
He'll keep you relevant. I mean, you saw that with the Seahawks. I mean,
34 total points were scored in the fourth quarter or
what
overtime
do
in
you think
this
about the
game.
overtime stuff? Because everyone's getting
I mean,
mad
everyone's
about
complaining
that.
about it. I mean, it's like it sucks for Josh Allen. I felt the same way that I did about Patrick Mahomes in 2018 when the Patriots beat him. Would have been cool to see Allen get a chance, but you know what, man? Like at a certain point, you're the number one ranked defense. You're the number one ranked pass defense, and you can't stop them from scoring a touchdown. And then you can't stop them from getting a field goal in less than 15 seconds. And then you can't stop them in overtime. You deserve to lose. You deserve to lose playing like that.
Yeah, I mean,
As great as your quarterback has bailed you out, you deserve that.
so
So
last year I remember Sean McDermott went under heavy, what was it, heavy scrutiny after he didn't go
the
for it on
AFC
that one play. I
Championship.
remember everyone was blasting him for his defense not playing good. Do we say the same thing here? I mean, I
I
love
think you
the
should. You should have
aggressiveness
squib
early.
kicked it. You should have squib kicked it.
I, I mean, like, dude, 13 seconds? Or what was it? It was 13, right? It was 13 or 17.
Mitch is hating on Chiefs fans.
Man, he's just so annoyed because he was like said they were overrated, which he was right about, by the way. He was right about that. But like now it
The
because on
team is,
paper
but
they're going to the
Mahomes
AFC
isn't.
championship
Mahomes
game.
isn't.
Mahomes isn't. No, he's not overrated.
All of the Mahomes criticism, I'm done with that. I'm done with it.
I feel like we say this stuff all year, man. The playoffs
we,
happen and
we,
then
we, we, we criticize him, we nitpick, and then in the playoffs he goes to
no,
this.
I mean just like we make these like big general statements after a playoff game, and we're like, "Oh, Kyle Shanahan's a choker." Like after 2019, Patrick Mahomes is amazing, and then the next year in the regular season, we're like, "Oh, well, never mind. Well, we'll just forget about that. This is the now. We're going to talk about what's
There's
happening
too many
now."
overreactions, I think.
I think so.
But
The
saying they're the two
online
best, I don't think
landscape.
is an
I think the
overreaction.
online landscape, just in general, with memes and stuff, it's made it like exponentially worse than it probably should be.
So what were your thoughts on the overall game then? Do you think it was the game
I
of the
thought
year?
it was just a masterclass in what the quarterback position has turned into over the last 100 years, man. It
Go
just
check
felt
out Lenny's video.
it, it felt like just the culmination of these two franchises. It just felt like this big, like epic moment. Like this was it. You know what I mean? Like this felt like the Super Bowl. This one felt like the Super Bowl. I mean,
I thought the team that walked off the field winners tonight after what happened with the Bucks.
we talk
Like
about these these theoretical wins, like these oh, you played really good, pat yourself on the back, but like, man,
it
two
feels
times in
bad.
a
It feels
row,
bad, man.
2 times in a row, man. I mean,
I think the Chiefs are gonna end up winning it again.
nah, bro. Niners Chiefs Super Bowl repeat. We're gonna see it. I think when you look at the Chiefs, you look at I thought that was strange from the
This
Bills.
is from Barry
What
McCockner.
did Barry McCollum
Inexcusable
say?
mistake by Josh Allen on the coin toss. That's why he's not an elite QB.
Oh no.
What would Tom Brady have done there?
Tom Brady would have told Tyrann Mathieu to come out of the locker room. No, wait, no, on the Bills side, he would have asked the ref to, like, one of those coins that always land one side. He would have done that. He would have put like a magnet in the floor. One side has like the magnetized thing, and then it'll go on that side.
I'm speechless, man.
It just
Tyreek Hill is.
You saw why Tyreek Hill is widely regarded as the best receiver in the NFL. I mean, even next to Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel, you see it every single time. It feels like in the playoffs, this guy just gets it done, right?
Gabriel Davis had 8 catches for 200 yards and
Doesn't
4
it feel like
touchdowns.
every time Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill just make the plays when they need to?
Every third down.
It never feels like they just miss their opportunity. Like you could say about not Josh Allen, obviously not, but
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, right?
He had 3 catches for 7 yards. He didn't show up.
He didn't show
Outside
up
of that one catch.
again.
No.
But I mean, that's not really a problem considering Gabe Davis.
He's still a great player, but he's
touchdowns.
Again, we saw the difference between Hill and Kelce and Diggs.
That's another thing right there with the difference in like the ultra elite club. Man, it's just what I thought was interesting from the Bills that I just didn't really like, I guess, is Tyrann Mathieu goes out, right? And obviously they came in with the game plan to run the ball like a lot. Like you could just tell they came in the game plan like we're going to play a physical brand of football.
Right, they wanted to expose the run.
When Tyrann Mathieu's out of the game, you got to target that secondary, especially when your team's known for passing the ball a lot.
And you have Josh Allen at quarterback who's throwing darts all over the field.
I think it just took them too long to get back into the passing game. I think they really could have won this game earlier if they just committed to Josh Allen. I mean, it's the small things because I just noticed that. What else? I think Gabe Davis is ridiculous. It's always these third receivers for the freaking Bills. It feels like they have like 5 different receivers that are going to make big plays. Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, Emmanuel Sanders, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley. I mean, they came up big, those secondary options. We always say in the playoffs, or I always say at least, that you need your secondary options to show up in the playoffs. You just need it. Because you saw with the Packers game,
didn't show up.
No one was open besides Devontae Adams.
And Lazard on that one play where Rodgers.
Because teams in the playoffs, what they do is they eliminate what you do best, and if you can't find an option outside of that, you see what happens with the Packers. You saw with the Chiefs that they actually did get some production from Jerick McKinnon, which I hate that guy, by the way.
Mecole Hardman had a couple big plays.
It just felt like the Bills were going to win, didn't it?
I thought the Bills would win after they scored that touchdown with 13 seconds left.
It was. I
don't know how they let that happen.
Only Mahomes, right?
Only Mahomes can do that. The only other guy that can do that was on the other side of the field, Josh Allen.
And he didn't have the ball, so
yeah, it was just his last. Whoever has the ball last wins. And
I thought for
luck of the draw, it didn't favor Mahomes a few years ago. It did now. Honestly, I think they're the favorite to win another Super Bowl. I think they can get themselves another one.
This game, it reminds me of Peyton Manning in those early years with Tom Brady. It like with Josh Allen. It feels like they're so close. Like it feels like if they just get over this one thing, they're there.
The difference though is Peyton was better than Brady. Like Peyton was better than Brady in the early.
You could argue Josh Allen is better than Mahomes tonight.
Yeah, I think that's closer. I think it's closer than the gap. Like because Brady was the only one that was winning Super Bowls, but I think everybody regarded Manning as the better quarterback until about 2007.
Because of his draft status and just because he didn't have
and just because Brady hadn't been like competing for MVPs yet until that. And then
that's true.
2007 was a breakout year, like where he became TB12, right? Yeah. But
it definitely feels like that though. Like they just can't get over this hump.
I think Josh Allen and Mahomes is a game we're going to see a lot.
I think we were talking about a couple years ago.
Allen will get it. Allen's day in the sun will come.
We talked about this a couple years ago. Where like, what's going to be the next Manning Brady? We've been searching for that ever since Manning's retired. we said that like Lamar. I remember when the media was trying to hype up Lamar Jackson versus Mahomes. We see now that that's probably not going to be the big next thing. This feels like it's going to be the next thing. It just feels like. I know it's hard to say. It just feels like it,
No,
man.
no, no, no. It's not that. It's just like I still can't process what I just watched.
I know it feels like it didn't even happen, right?
Jo- I, some of the throws Josh Allen was making, it was just like
It
how.
felt like a
I'm
video
like,
game.
no, there
It
were two fourth
Madden, bro.
downs. One of them was a fourth down he converted with his legs, and it was like, how did he do this? And then the other one was a like a dart. And Mahomes was doing similar stuff. Um, look, I mean, both teams ran the ball very well. I thought. Um, we saw the receiving game for both teams. I mean, the Bills, they didn't get their guy. I mean, Gabriel Davis went off, but Stephon Diggs, you need more than 3 catches for 7 yards. Like that's
No,
unacceptable.
I totally agree. I
And we
mean, if
saw,
it's
the
Stephon Diggs,
Chiefs.
I mean,
The Chiefs, they had Hardman made a couple plays. Pringle made a big play, and he had a touchdown. McKinnon had 80 yards, 80 total yards. That's just, you don't need 200 yards from Gabe Davis, but you need just contributions. You need first downs, right? From your secondary options, and that's what they got. I
so
thought both
oh,
defenses sucked. I'm going to be honest.
that's yeah.
But I mean, I don't really blame either of them. I mean, I think the Bills' defense is worse in terms of embarrassment because they were the number one defense. They were the number one pass defense. They were holding teams to 83% of their pass yards. And the Chiefs threw the ball for 378 yards in this game. So that was just embarrassing, I thought.
I
But
thought that the Bills defense didn't do like schematically a bad job. It was just like they were doing a solid job at coverage. It just every single time something broke down, it's like they didn't have an answer. You know what I mean? Like they were playing everything textbook, right? Like you'd see in the backfield, Kelsey was getting doubled, Hill was getting doubled.
Mitch
You
is saying Mahomes is overhyped, man. I
oh my
can't.
god, bro! I don't know if you watched the same game we did, but
I know you always try and like defend him, but
no,
like
I don't know about that one, man. That one's a little questionable. But anyway, it just felt like neither of these teams had an answer for scramble drill, and you figure that these coaches would practice that with the quarterbacks they have. Um, I don't think I got to disagree just on how the defense played. I think they played bad at the end. I think they just got tired, dude. I think the Bills' defense was for so long. I mean, I don't know.
I just feel like they could have done more. Like 13 seconds, you got to
So
hold them out of
hard,
field goal
though.
range.
I mean, at the end, on that one drive, yes, that was
As
atrocious.
the entire game, if you go drive by drive, they probably didn't have a terrible game, but
I
I
mean,
don't even fault
no
them
one
as much.
remembers that. Everyone remembers the 13
Everybody
seconds.
were only thing that people are going to remember is the fourth quarter and overtime.
Exactly. Well,
But yeah, let's get to the AFC Championship now. Not making predictions yet, but Bengals at Chiefs. We saw this game a couple weeks ago. Bengals ended up winning. What are your just early thoughts? I'm leaning Chiefs for sure.
I went into this game thinking whoever wins this game is going to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm still thinking that. It's not that the Chiefs are. It's not that the Chiefs are like. I don't know. It's hard to say because like you just feel like the Chiefs are going to do it again, and you think that the Bengals after their second year with Joe Burrow, just there's no way, right? There's no way they make the Super Bowl their second year when they have
I
clear.
just think, yeah,
I
I think
mean,
it's too much.
it just feels. It's like when the Titans, like in 2019, played
It's
the
that
Chiefs.
run. It's the same thing, except instead of the team carrying Tannehill, Joe Burrow's just carrying the team.
I have a funny
As I try
meme.
to carry this desk, which I film miserably at. Yeah, I'm definitely. Here's the thing, Lenny. It took it being in Cincinnati, a perfect game from Joe Burrow, a
It did.
perfect game from Jamar Chase to beat them by 3 on the last play of the game.
Yeah, you could even argue it was a little fluky based on just how it happened, if you know what I mean. I don't know, man. It just doesn't feel like they have enough yet. It just I mean, when you go into the offseason, they have like $40 million with the cap. I know we are already talking about the offseason with the Bengals. Like, they haven't played yet. That's why they play the game. But
Don't rule them out.
I'm not ruling them out because they have Joe Burrow, number one. But number two, the Chiefs just won this game without Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, like,
Is it
that's
time we stop doubting Kansas City?
like I was a big Chiefs hater all year, mostly because I just don't like the Chiefs because I'm a Raiders fan. Mostly
And a Niners fan.
and a Niners fan. I mean,
that cap would have said Super Bowl champions instead of NFC champions if it weren't for.
No, I actually bought this hat before the Super Bowl, so
we're fine. You did? Okay.
I would have probably like wrote with a Sharpie though, like Super Bowl champions. But yeah, it's like getting to the point where it's just exhausting to bet against them. It's just like
it's like Brady.
I mean, yeah, it's like Brady. I don't know what their cap situation looks like next year because I know they're losing Tyrann Mathieu in the offseason. It's hard to say no when they have Patrick Mahomes playing like that. Like, I think the reason that we were doubting them this year is because Patrick Mahomes wasn't playing like Patrick Mahomes, and it's easy to bet against the Chiefs when Patrick Mahomes
is
playing like average. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I did say, and I know you'll remember this on the Lay Down podcast a couple of days ago. He started to play better at the end of the year. He had started to look like the old Patrick Mahomes, and today was the old Patrick Mahomes.
That was definitely 2018 vibes from him, like the Rams game, the Chiefs Rams game. The regular
Patriots games,
the Patriot game. I mean, it just felt like classic Patrick Mahomes, just the way he was moving around. Josh Allen, it felt like, I know we've said he's broken out like a million times, but this felt like his breakout game too. You know what I mean? I don't think we've seen him ever play this good. I don't think so.
Josh Allen's he'll have his day in this. But let's go to the other game, Lenny, because there was another game as crazy as this one was.
Oh boy,
Rams Bucks. Just take me through.
Hey, we're going. Hey, wait, no. I don't know. Yeah, right here. We're gonna win. We're gonna do it again. Conference champions. We're gonna repeat. We're gonna repeat.
All right. So take me through your thoughts at the start of the game, and then when the Bucks started to mount the comeback, and then the last Stafford drive.
I was listening on the radio for about the first quarter, like the first part of the first quarter, right? I was doing something. I was driving somewhere. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But when I got home, and like right before I got home, I heard that they scored a touchdown. It was the Cooper Kupp one, right? Where he just got wide open. I think this is when it was 17-3 at this point. And like, I was with my mom. I'm just like, I told my mom, I'm like, I think the Bucks are going to come back. I was like, I think they're going to come back. And then they come home and then they score another touchdown. And I'm just like, and I'm watching with my brother now. And I'm like, I think the Bucks are going to come back. I literally was just like, I was so dead right with that. Like, only because I trusted Tom Brady to do it because it's Tom Brady. The way I think about this is Tom Brady should not be judged on how he played in this game because, number one, everything went wrong for him in this game. Everything that could have went wrong went wrong.
I thought he played amazing.
And number two, I know his stat line didn't look great, but when he needed to make the throws, he made the throws. When everything was going down the crapper, I mean, everything went wrong.
He did what Aaron Rodgers didn't do.
I mean, everyone's talking about if you get to Brady and you make him if you make him throw downfield, whatever. I mean, like he's done. He can't do anything. He not only proved that wrong, like I know he's proved it a million times, but he continued to do he left his team with the impression that it just felt like Brady. I know there's I joke about he's willing his team to this, but it felt like he really did play a part in having the team.
They didn't feel like they were out because of
it never felt like the Bucks were out of the game, right? I mean,
all right. So what the way I kind of felt was I thought when it was 27-3, and this is coming from a man that saw Tom Brady come back from 28-3 on his own team. I thought, okay, this. Because of all the retirement stuff before the game and that kind of those rumors, I was just like, yeah, I think this is a fight that he may end up losing. But when the Bucks, they what did they do? They kicked a field goal, right? Remember they made it 27-6.
I do remember the field goal.
and then the Rams fumble right after that.
Is
And then
that's what everyone universally was just like, yeah, they're gonna win.
and then it gets
All
to
right, here we go.
27-13, and I'm like, okay, I've seen this story before. I was fully expecting Tampa Bay to win at that point.
I think everyone thought they were gonna win after
Um,
that fumble.
but then here's the thing: Tampa Bay, like the Rams were making mistakes. They missed a field goal. They were fumbling the ball. Tampa Bay wasn't capitalizing, man.
No, they weren't.
They weren't.
It
They
felt
weren't.
like
The Patriots in Super Bowl 51. Every time the Falcons would get stopped or they'd fumble or take a sack or something like that, they capitalized.
there's one. They got that field goal that they missed early. I remember that.
They missed that extra point, but outside of that, they basically played perfect in the fourth quarter and overtime. The Bucks didn't played far from perfect.
It speaks talent. It just speaks like mounds, like just how talented this team was. Right?
Both
They
teams
played terrible, and they almost won.
with all those injuries too.
They played so bad. They played so bad. I mean,
and then okay, so the Jalen Ramsey Mike Evans play. Mike Evans just burned it, right? He cooked them.
I mean, Jalen Ramsey's just like he just stopped,
looking like Trayvon Diggs out there.
He looked like Trayvon. I actually thought that too when I saw him. I'm like everyone hyped up. Oh, everyone's hyping up Jalen Ramsey, and then you see this one freaking thing in the playoffs where he just gets worked. I mean, yeah, but I don't even think that was really Jalen Ramsey's fault. He thought the play was over.
He got cooked.
I know it was his fault, but it wasn't like he played bad. It wasn't like he's bad because of it.
It was like, a great play by Evans, to be fair.
It was like he just kind of gave up on the play. Like he thought the play was over. And he just like looked. He's like, oh, no. But, yeah. I thought Sean McVay showed Shanahan how to manage a bad situation like that.
He showed his dad how to manage a clock situation.
His dad, what he? Oh yes. He's like, like, I know we're gonna play you next week, so I'm gonna show you how to manage a game clock. Because they did run a lot. They did make.
To be fair, he still did a better job. He still did a better job coaching than Todd Bowles did.
Cam Akers is an absolute clown, bro.
I don't know what
Cam Akers, bro. He ran for like 3 yards.
I don't know why they weren't using Sony Michel more.
I think they just need to bench Cam Akers.
They need to play Michel.
They need to play Michel or Henderson. Either one. I don't really care.
Akers is just he's just a name. He's a bigger name.
He's a big name. It's a good story.
But look, man, I've been critical of the guy. I'm done with the Stafford hate. Like I'm done.
Oh yeah.
I've retired it with my Shanahan hate. He made the plays when he had to make the plays, man.
Yeah.
I mean that throw to Cup. I don't know how many more quarterbacks in the Aaron Rodgers didn't. Aaron Rodgers when everything
will do it.
Aaron Rodgers when everything was on the line didn't make the plays. Stafford did. Right.
Isn't recency bias hilarious though? People
recency
are like,
bias is hilarious. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback.
I know, I was gonna say the same thing.
Stafford was clutch as hell in this game.
Oh yeah.
And I think Cooper Kupp may be the best in the league.
Man, I don't want to blame Todd Bowles that much because it. Number one, yes, it was a stupid call. I definitely agree. You have to. I mean, like with that little time left. I mean, come on, you can't leave one-on-one Cooper Kupp or even OBJ. OBJ was on one-on-one too. I mean, that's overlooked.
But I had a good game, I thought,
because they were in cover zero, but. For the way that the Todd Bowles and their defense kept them in the game, I can't really blame him that much, if you know what I mean. It's kind of the same way I think about Kyle Shanahan if he blows a lead or whatever. Like, he got us to the point where we could even be in this game. So it's kind of like, all right, that sucks, but like we wouldn't even be in the situation for me to be mad about it if, we didn't have Kyle Shanahan. And I think the same thing about Todd Bowles because I think he's terrific defensive coordinator. I think he just made a stupid mistake at the end and it ended up costing him because, in this game, it took one thing, even if that Eric Weddle, like pass interference thing, I mean, that
I'm seeing Baker Mayfield tweet about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my God. Should the Browns have taken Josh Allen? They probably
100%.
I know, but like, would he have been the same? I don't know. Probably, right? He probably would have been at least good.
Quarterbacks who've advanced in the playoffs. The Chiefs,
Jimmy Garoppolo,
my homeboy.
Mahomes.
The Bengals, first overall pick, stud, national champion who won a playoff game without an offensive line. Rams, first overall pick who took the Lions to the playoffs and survived a Brady comeback. Niners, handsome Italian guy who has a Fitzpatrick skill set.
Yeah, I'm just happy that we're even here. Are you kidding me? Like, this is
Well,
ridiculous, bro.
you and the Bengals just are happy to be here.
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow isn't though. Joe Burrow's saying it like they've been
No, Joe Burrow won a national championship, man. He has those high standards.
Joe Burrow's saying it like he's been running this team for like a couple of years now. Like he's talking like he's Tom Brady.
I mean, it's not like he doesn't have a right to do that though.
No, I think
okay, wait, I gotta go look this up. Hold on.
That guy is the true head coach of the team. I like Zach Taylor. I think he's okay.
So what are your thoughts on the Rams matchup? How you feeling?
I think it's going to be near impossible to go 7-0 against the Rams in 3 years. I mean, like, especially with how good they are and just the momentum they had coming in this game, and with the injuries that we already had coming into this, plus Deebo Samuel was injured, Trent Williams was injured at the end, and Kittle was injured. I mean, like, it just feels like the Niners, it's like, like handshake, like, it's good that you were in the game. It's glad that we're here. Good for your franchise. But it's time to join everyone in the couch.
I think what Lenny and a lot of people just want is a Niners Bengals Super Bowl. Right?
Everyone's memeing the hell out of the Niners Bengals Super Bowl right now. Zach Taylor versus Kyle Shanahan, bro.
I can't wait for Zach Taylor to outcoach Shanahan in the fourth quarter, and then us just go right back to hating on him.
If we do win, I do want to play the Chiefs, just because I think it would be really redemption, bro. I don't want redemption against Joe.
And you want to play the best team. You want to beat the best team.
Exactly. It's not. It doesn't.
That's how I was with Georgia. I wanted Georgia to play Alabama again. I didn't want to play Cincinnati.
It's Mickey Mouse or whatever.
Yeah.
You play the Bengals.
All right, so the preseason Super Bowl odds. This was entering the season, the favorites for the Super Bowl.
Were up there, I remember.
The Chiefs were so of the 4 teams left, the Chiefs were number 1 in odds. They were the favorites. The Rams were 4th. The Niners were 5th.
Yeah.
And the Bengals were 30th.
Oh no! Oh no! 30?
Yeah.
Who was below? Were the Raiders really
they were tied with the Jets. No. And the only teams they were above were the Lions and Texans.
That's sad that
they were below the Las Vegas Raiders, the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh no.
The Carolina Panthers.
Oh my god.
The Chicago Bears. The New York Giants.
Oh my god.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars! Is Urban Meyer more likely to make the Super Bowl than Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
If the Bengals win the Super Bowl, would it be the greatest meme of all time?
I think you just look at Joe Burrow and you're like, is that Joe Flacco in the playoffs?
I think he's the greatest player of all time.
Joe Cool, right? Maybe this is like, how the Niners, their second year, it was Joe Montana's second year. Bill Walsh is like third or fourth year, like Zach Taylor. And then they got Joe Burrow in his second year. And then they just go to the Super Bowl that whole year when no one really thought they were going to make it. Maybe this is what it is. Joe Cool, Jamar Chase is their Jerry Rice. John Taylor is their, what is it? Who they have? Who's their second guy? Tyler Boyd? No, it's T. Higgins, right?
T. Higgins.
Who's the number 2? Is it T. Higgins?
T. Higgins is the number 2.
Joe Mixon is their Roger Craig. Tom Rathman is whoever they have at fullback. If they have a fullback, I don't know. Oh, man. What a story that would be, though. That would be a unreal story.
So what? Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I think the Chiefs and Rams, they expected to be here all year. I'm going to be honest.
If I'm the Rams organization, I believe that. People in the organization were like, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. But I don't think a lot of people outside of the Rams really thought that. I think a lot of people thought they had a good chance, but I don't think a lot of people actually thought they'd be here. Especially the fact they get to play the Niners, which, I mean, I know the Niners have owned them, and I know I'm, conference champions, but it just feels like you'd much rather play the Niners right now than the Packers, right?
Yeah. And you got rid of the champions, so they
Yeah,
slayed the dragon.
and you slayed the Bucks already, which is like to kill the to be the
I
king.
still can't believe people were picking the Cardinals to beat the Rams. I just thought that was insane.
I think I don't remember what I picked. I thought it was pretty split on it, but
You
I thought
picked. I remember you picked the Rams to win.
it's so long ago, right? Doesn't it feel
It
like
was
forever?
only a week ago.
Doesn't it feel longer than that though? It
Man.
feels like I haven't even thought about the
Well,
Cardinals
it's safe to
franchise.
say, as we end this recap, divisional weekend was way, way, way better than wild card weekend was. The only good games for wild cards were the Raiders Bengals game
Yeah,
and the
I have to.
Niners Cowboys
Why
game.
do I have to suffer, man? Why do I have
It's
to like?
always Lenny's teams that are
Why
playing
do
these
I have to
last
go
second
through
games.
this,
So
bro?
you've had to sit through in the last couple of weeks Rams Niners
Oh boy.
to go to the
Raiders,
playoffs.
Chargers.
Raiders Chargers to go to the playoffs. Raiders Bengals in a playoff game. Niners Cowboys in a playoff game. And now Niners Packers in a
I
playoff
think
game.
the last time I haven't worried about one of my teams was Niners Jaguars.
Texans.
No, Texans, that's what it was. But even then I was a little worried because we had
Because Lance was
I was a little worried in that game. I was
all
like,
right, Lenny. I'm gonna end it off there. Thanks for joining.
oh man, what a wild weekend.
Congrats on your Niners. All right, guys. Thanks.